Part of the Hope Writer team, and I'm so glad you're here to hear about the Hope Writer Progress Planner. With me is Emily, who is one of the co-founders of Hope Writers, and Carla, who is our brand manager here at Hope Writers. So Emily, tell me, why a progress planner?
Why a progress planner? Well, one of the things that we know about writers is that we have big goals and dreams sometimes, but we don't always know how to reach those goals and dreams. And so we decided, at Hope Writers, one of our core values, our core focus really, is to help writers make progress. One of the ways that we do that is we have our member library, we have our weekly Tuesday teachings, but so far it's all been kind of disembodied. It's all been online. And so what we're really excited about with our progress planner is that this brings making progress right into your own living room, on your own desk. You can hold this planner and you can not only think big about your own writing goals and vision, but you can also begin to think smaller about your own targets and how you want to reach those goals in kind of smaller amounts of time.
So what will we find inside the Progress Planner to actually make that happen?
It's a great question. And really, the Progress Planner is for Hope Writer members. So we definitely share what's some common language that we're talking about. What does it mean to find your ideal reader? And how can you discover who that is? And how can you set goals for your writing life? How can you create the vision that you want for your writing life? So we have sheets in the Progress Planner to help you do that. But mainly what it is, it's a 90-day plan for your writing. And so we have both monthly and weekly layouts so that you can take those goals that you want to reach, you can establish targets in order to reach them, and then you can plot them in your monthly and weekly layouts, which our lovely brand manager has designed for us.
So Carla, tell us about the layout of the planner, because it's very intentional the way you've laid out all the different parts of it to help us make that progress. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, the first interesting thing about the planner is probably the size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is 11 by 6 and it's ring bound at the top. So it's not like a normal book that you would see or a workbook or anything like that. It's intentionally laid out this way so we can do a couple of really fun things with it. The first one is that we can stand it up on the desk. So you can turn to whatever page you're working on and have that out in front of you. It's roughly the size of a computer keyboard, like an Apple computer keyboard. So in that small way, it's a helpful intention to remind you that this is about your writing, right?
Yeah.
One tiny design tidbit, super fun. The word progress on the cover is laid out in italics, which helps us think about the forward motion that we're aiming for with our progress planner. And then really the content is sort of laid out from thick to thin, from wide to narrow, where we think about the vision first, we lay out our ideal reader, all of the things that Emily already mentioned, and then we take it to the minutia of the everyday. So there are weekly layouts in here in addition to monthly layouts to help you track your progress on a day-to-day basis. It's not a planner for writing like, go to the grocery store and call this person. It's a planner for tracking your writing progress.
Which I know for a lot of writers that might be really tricky, because when we think planner, we think, when's the soccer game, and what am I going to buy, like you said, at the grocery store, what we're going to have for dinner tonight, or this is the person I need to call back. And I think what we really want to focus on for this planner, and what we hope, the ways in which we hope writers will use it, is to think that this is about my writing life. One of the reasons why I think writers oftentimes aren't making the progress that they want to make is because we either think way too big and we try to get too much done at once, which if you notice, like Carla mentioned, it's not super large, this planner. And so it forces us to be really focused in on what am I focusing on just for the next 90 days, rather than thinking way big, like, what do I want to finish this whole year? Or sometimes we can get too myopic and we think, what should I post on Instagram today? And we forget why we're doing it. So the whole intention of the planner is to really help us think over the next 90 days, what is my big why? Yeah. Who am I doing this for? And then what do I need to do on a monthly and weekly basis in order to reach those goals and to hit those targets that I want to hit?
So the Progress Planner is going to take us through those steps to get from the big dream to what I need to do today. And so what's the magical unicorn number of 90 days? Why 90 days? Why not 45 days? Why not 6 months?
Nikki, don't confuse us now. We just have to pick one. That's really, and I think that's the trick with sometimes with writing, is that we think there is a magical number. We think that there is just one right way, but there's not just one right way. There's just your right way. And so we have suggested a right way. And we, as a community of writers together as Hope Writers, we want to be able to encourage one another in our writing, in making progress. And 90 days, for me, I have found that it's trackable and it's approachable, but it's not so short that I'm like, I have to make progress in 30 days and I want to be able to see the movement. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but it's not so long that I'm overwhelmed. And so I think that 90 days is a comfortable sweet spot. But again, there's no wrong. If you would like to set your goals for longer than 90 days, just get yourself 2 progress planners and you can do it that way, right?
Yeah, or set your annual goal and break it down into the quarterly goals and have a progress planner for each quarter of the year.
And the good thing is that we don't leave you on your own to come up with what should my 90-day targets be. We have 10 questions. There's 2 spreads. There's 10 questions in the planner to help you consider and think about what's most important to me as a writer. What do I want to accomplish here? And so we give some leading questions to help you discover as a writer, what do I want to focus on over the next 90 days? And in many ways that can be very freeing because it can help you know, okay, these are the things I'm going to focus on. I'm going to write them in my planner. And then that means I'm not going to be focusing on some other things. And that can be just as empowering as knowing what you will focus on.
If you're like me, you probably already have a Google Calendar and you might have another planner and you might have a journal. So is this just another planner to add to my stack of planners that I'm not really using terribly well? Or how is this different? How is this going to help me?
Well, it's a great question, Nikki. And maybe there are a few different answers, but the thing that comes to mind first is that we are a community of writers. And there's real magic when you get with a community of writers who are using the same system. And so this is really a system of creating your own goals, of tracking your progress. And so the good thing about having a planner like this as a community is that it gives us a shared language. So towards the beginning of the planner, we define some terms like what is an ideal reader? And what does it mean that we balance the art of writing with the business of publishing? In fact, throughout the planner, both in the calendar section as well as in some of our keepsake pages and different aspects of the planner, we bring that language back in, the art and the business, because some 90 days, let's be real, you're going to be really working on your writing and you might not be on Instagram or you might not be on Facebook. You're really trying to focus on the craft. And there's a way to organize that here. But there might be other times when you're like, I really want to grow my email list or do something that maybe has more to do with the business of publishing. And there's a way to record that as well. And so the way that we as a Hope Writers community are trying to help writers make progress is by reminding us always, keeping it before us, we want to balance both the art of writing with the business of publishing. 2 other ways to do that in the planner. One is there's a whole section for Tuesday teaching notes. So if you want to watch live with us on Tuesdays, our Tuesday teachers, there's a place for you to keep your notes and some key takeaways and action steps you want to take. Or if you're watching the resource library, Tuesday teachings in the resource library, you can take your notes there as well. And then also there's a whole section for Hope Circle notes that are branded with our lovely Hope Circle logo, which is super fun. And there's a place for you to take your notes there. So it's all really rooted in community and points us back to, listen, the writing life does not have to be a lonely life. Even though writing is done alone, your writing life doesn't have to be lived alone. That's really many ways in which this planner helps to bring us together.
That's so fantastic. And another way is that it stands up, as you said, that it stands up on our desk. So Carla, what other things, apart from the fact that it stands up on our desk? And one of the things I love is the quotes that you can have and are just displayed. But as the designer, what are your favorite things about it?
That's a really great question. And the first thing I would say is when you're designing something for a large community of people, you have to keep in mind the variety of learning styles, the variety of preferences that people have for their paper products. And so the first way we did that was by creating a planner that has the ring binding on the top. So it's both left hand and right hand friendly.
Love that.
I'm
So
a lefty.
friendly.
I'm a lefty man, and I really just, wire binding kind of bums me out. So if we put it at the top, we don't have to worry about it. That's fantastic. The second thing I would say is that we have note pages available for whatever lists or checklists you want to make, but they're in a dot format, a dot grid. So you can, if you prefer to take notes with the ring binding on the left, you can do that. If you prefer to do things upside down, you can do that too. There's lots of different ways to use those pages. We also put some lined pages in the back for our friends who prefer lined pages.
Some of our friends do prefer lined pages.
They do,
and we do understand.
And a lot of writers think and take notes in creative ways with mind maps and things, and that will work brilliantly with the dots as well. So that's really thoughtful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
There are a couple tiny details that I really enjoy about this. On the weekly spread, there's a little box for your word count of the week. So if you're keeping track of how many words you're writing for a book or a manuscript or whatever it might be, you have a place to do that on a weekly basis so you can keep track. What else do I love about this planner?
Well, and we do love, and I'll just say a word about the word count, everyone. And that is that you do not have to keep track of your word count. Because here's the beauty of being a Hope Writer is that you get to decide what works for you. So if you want to, keep track of something else in that little box, you're free to. If you'd like to ignore it this 90 days, you can ignore it. But some people really are motivated. You have to know how you learn. And some of us are really motivated by seeing that word count number go up. And so we create a little space for you to do that. But again, there's no wrong. You don't have to use that little box if you don't want to. But I know something else you love, Carla. It's the little habit tracker.
I do love the habit tracker. So there's a place on the weekly spread for 3 different, is it 3?
I think there's 3 per week that you can focus on.
Yes. And
Let me just look.
Check boxes for each day for you to keep track of your habits. And it's not a big, huge habit tracker that takes up a full page and you have to write in 50 different things and track it in 10 different ways. It's a very simple, straightforward habit tracker for you to say, yes, I drank my water today. Check. Because we all know how good it feels to check a box.
It feels so, listen, too much in the writing life we can't really control or feel like we finish. So if you can check something off, it's so satisfying. And not only that, but these habits are really, what are the habits that I want to engage in that are going to help me balance the art of writing with the business of publishing? What habits do I need to create for myself that are going to help me reach those targets this week so that I can, over the next 90 days, say, I made progress. And really we have at the end of every month, we have a monthly reflection because listen, I'm all about the reflection. And of course I'm gonna make you look back and see what progress did I make, what worked well and what didn't work well. And guess what? If you create targets for the 90 days and you get 30 days in and you realize that's not working for me, you don't have to slog through over the next 60 days just because you said it. You get to be the boss and you can change it. And so that monthly reflection is that chance for you to kind of change course if you need to, because, we talk a lot in Hope Writers that some of us are doing a lot of the right things, but we're doing them in the wrong order. And so as you discover your own order, you get to change that around and this has to work for you. And so that's what this is all about, is it doesn't have to be perfect progress. It just has to be forward movement progress.
Yes. So this progress planner is really going to help us be the boss of our writing life. It's not going to boss us, but it is going to help us be a great boss to our writing life.
Amen, sister.
So you may be wondering, what exactly is Hope Writers and how does it work? Well, would you give me permission to take a few minutes to walk you through what Hope Writers includes? Just type yes in the comments. Okay, great. Here at Hope Writers, we've been in the business of helping writers find and follow their own path to publication for more than 5 years now. We open our doors to our membership community just a few times a year, and I'm happy to say this is one of those times, and we would love to be a part of your plan. Maybe you've heard of Hope Writers, but you don't exactly know what we do or who we are. Maybe this is your first time hearing about us and you're wondering if it's worth it. We're here to answer all your questions about Hope Writers. I would love to know in the comments if you've been watching Hope Writers from a distance. Maybe just type the word watching. We've anticipated what some of your questions will be, so before we take your questions, I'll quickly walk you through what Hope Writers actually is and what we offer. So what exactly is included in Hope Writers? Firstly, the weekly teaching. Basically, every week we host an hour-long writing workshop, live 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We call it Tuesday Teaching, and it's where we offer members the most up-to-date information from editors, agents, authors, book coaches, Instagram gurus, book launch coordinators, and marketing professionals, and teachers of the craft of writing. We ask the questions you want to know. We have over 100 interviews available for you to watch right now, because even though we do them live, we of course record them if you can't join us. This is the latest information you can't find anywhere else, curated to help you make progress on your writing journey. Not only do you get to participate in the teaching live, but our team is there to facilitate your questions, making the teaching applicable specifically to you and your writing. Hope Writer member Cheryl minored in writing in college and was eager to get started in her career, but says the lack of practicals she learned from school left her feeling overwhelmed. Tuesday Teaching gives me what my writing classes did not: structure for a writing plan, practicals on getting a book published, and helpful hints about platform, to name just a few. Your Hope Writer membership includes: number 1, weekly teaching. Number 2, resource library. When you join, you get instant access to over 130 teaching videos to help you make progress. Our library is organized by stage, so you'll know exactly which teaching to start with and what to do next. Included in the member library are teaching videos from incredible authors like Annie F. Downs, Beth Moore, John Eldridge, and over 100 other teachers. You'll find videos and how-to articles on topics such as social media, book proposals, writing craft, and writing routines. When you log in as a new Hope Writer, which you can do now, you'll start right there where it says, Read Me First, and every step will be super clear. We've listened to and served our writers and have recognized a common struggle. So many writers were overwhelmed or flat out quitting for one reason. It's not because they had nothing left to write, it's because they were trying to do all the right things in all the wrong order. This is a path, not a formula. A path may have ups and downs and turns, but on a path, you're moving in a direction. And as a writer, sometimes that's all you need to get unstuck. Our resource library is organized by stage, easy to navigate, and we made it easy to know exactly where to start. One resource in the library is a video interview with literary agent Jenny Burke, and she says this about Hope Writers. The work you're doing inside of Hope Writers is so important. You're helping so many writers, which in turn helps us in the publishing industry to have so much good quality content. I've gotten proposals from Hope Writers that are so good that it's slowing down my process. Sorry, Jenny. Just kidding, we're not sorry at all. Our Hope Writer membership includes 1, weekly teaching, 2, resource library, and 3, an online community. The third component of our membership is access to our private member community. This is our online group where you can meet other writers, receive feedback and encouragement, ask your ungoogleable questions, and share links to your latest projects in our Friday Shares thread. The community you'll discover will show you that you're not alone. You're in the right place. Your Hope Writer membership includes 1, weekly teaching, 2, resource library, 3, online community, and 4, guided Hope Circle. You'll have the opportunity to join one of our new guided Hope Circles. These are topic-focused writing groups led by a trained Hope Writers guide whose goal is to help you make progress. You can choose from topics including how to write a book proposal, how to grow your social media following, how to create writing routines, and so much more. A member who started a circle is author Jennifer Dukes-Lee. She's been a member of Hope Writers for a few years now, and she now also works with Bethany House Publishers as an acquisitions editor. She says this group has been a gift to her. Her Hope Circle was a safe place to process almost everything you could imagine. Jennifer says, "For me, it's been a lifeline." Your Hope Writer membership includes 1, weekly teaching, 2, resource library, 3, online community. 4, guided hope circle. 5, member directory. You'll be able to create a profile on our public directory at hopewriters.net. The directory provides a professional place where you can direct people to learn more about your work and a way to connect with writers who live near you or are working in similar projects. Your Hope Writer membership includes 1, weekly teaching, 2, resource library, 3, online community, 4, guided hope circle, 5, member directory, and 6, progress planner. Our printed planner focuses on helping you make progress in your writing over 90 days. The Hope Writers Progress Planner is the culmination of more than 5 years of development, and it's perfectly crafted to help you organize your writing goals, process the feedback and instruction you receive, and make the most of your writing time. We know you're going to love the planner, which retails for $39.95, but it's yours free when you join Hope Writers. Your Hope Writer membership includes 1, weekly teaching, 2, resource library, 3, online community, 4, guided hope circle, 5, member directory, 6, progress planner. And there's a bonus you get when you join Hope Writers. It's called the Time to Write bundle. This bonus will help you create writing routines and find time to write even within the most demanding schedule. Let's face it, life is busy, but these trainings will help you carve out the margin you need in order to share your words. This bonus expires midnight Pacific time, Thursday, May 27th. So when you join Hope Writers, you get access to 1, the weekly teaching, 2, the resource library, 3, the online community, 4, the guided hope circle, 5, the member directory, 6, the progress planner, and 7, the time to write bundle. That's an almost $2,000 value. If Hope Writers helped you discover your voice, would it be worth it? If Hope Writers helped you connect with other writers, would it be worth it? If Hope Writers helped you make progress in your writing, would it be worth it? But the good news is you won't have to invest almost $2,000 for all of this value. In fact, you'll have complete access to everything we've talked about for $47 a month inside Hope Writers. So all you need to do to get everything you see on the screen is to go to hopewriters.com/join. This is where you go to join, but I have one more thing. So you might be wondering if you're a Hope Writer. Who are we? Well, we're a lot of people. We're people who used to think no one would ever want to read our words, but have decided to stop believing that story and write a different one instead. We're people who maybe don't even like writing that much, but lately we've been paying more attention to the power of the written word to connect with people. And even though writing is hard and maybe not our favorite, we're slowly growing in confidence that we have something to say. We're mothers and some fathers who have been doing the holy, harrowing work of taking care of tiny children. But now those children aren't so tiny anymore and have their own ideas about the world. And we have our ideas too. And we want to make sure our ideas aren't lost in the shuffle. And we wonder, should I start to write them down? We're people who believe we have a story of hope to tell. But we've doubted for years, maybe decades, that our voice matters. Until recently, we've started to believe that's all wrong. And humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And maybe we've been so wrapped up in what will they think of me? And my writing isn't very good. And it's all been said before, that we've forgotten to look beyond ourselves and see a reader who might need the encouragement, the entertainment, the hope that our words have to offer. Who Hope Writers is not for. We are not grandstanders or self-promoters. We're not a book club or a community of dabblers. We're not for robots who want to build a publishing machine or glory hogs who want all the attention. We are people, soft-hearted, jagged edges, sometimes discouraged and timid, but always underneath, we're hopeful. We believe there's goodness in the world. We believe we play a part. We believe there is room at the table for our voice, our words, our story. And we believe there's room for yours here too. Your success doesn't take one thing away from me, and we champion one another's words, stories, and work. We help any writer find and follow their own path to finally sharing their words with a reader. We'd love to help you, and we can start today. So all you need to do to get everything you see on the screen is to go to hopewriters.com/join. I want to invite you to play worst case scenario about this decision as well. What's the worst thing that could happen? You aren't going to die. The worst thing is you join us, it's not for you, and you cancel your membership. Is that the worst thing that could happen? Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe the worst thing is you don't join us. And then after our doors close, you continue trying to write on your own with little support, no clear path, and a lot of questions. Or maybe the worst case scenario is you set your writing aside altogether and never share your words at all. We want to make this a no-brainer decision for you. That's why we have a 60-day tried and applied guarantee to make this as easy as we can for you. Show us you engaged and did the work. If you still aren't satisfied, we'll gladly refund you your membership fee. So you might instead ask yourself, what is the best thing that could happen? Maybe you discover your writing voice, or you connect with other readers, or even you could make progress in your writing. Wouldn't that be worth the investment? Hope writer Laura says when she and her husband were working on scaling back, she declared her Hope Writers membership a no-fly zone. So all you need to do to get everything you see on the screen is to go to hopewriters.com/join. You might be wondering if Hope Writers is for you if you need to learn marketing. Well, I'd recommend inside our resource library, you start with trainings from Jennifer Allwood, Mike Kim, and Tim Grahl. And you might be wondering if Hope Writers is for you if you want to publish a book. Then I'd recommend the teachings from Carolyn McCready, Stephanie Smith, and Andrea Doering. And you might be wondering if Hope Writers is for you if you need to find your voice. Then I'd recommend the teachings inside the resource library from Crystal Payne, Joe Saxton, and Marion Roach Smith. So all you need to do to get everything you see on the screen is to go to hopewriters.com/join. Well, thank you for joining us for this session, and I do hope you'll join us at hopewriters.com/join. Hope Writers has been invaluable for me in my writing journey, and I do hope that I'll be able to see